Hello everyone. So from this video, we'll be start working with our environment setup. We'll be installing all the softwares and necessary extensions for our local development. And if you already watched my Laravel fundamentals video, you know that I have already a playlist about local development setup, but that was a basic setup. This time we'll be setting up our environment for our project. That means we'll be installing some more extensions and setting them up for our food ordering project. Okay, so for code editor, I'll be using Visual Studio Code. You can use any other code editor you like, it's totally fine. And for local host, or you can say local development server, I'll be using Laragon. You can use XAMPP, WAMP, or MEMP, or any other local server you prefer. But if you are using Windows, I highly recommend you to use Laragon because it comes with everything you need. Just go to laragon.org and hit this download link. And from there, you will find this edition section. From there, just download the Laragon and install it. And make sure you download the full version because it have all the necessary stuff for Laravel development, or you can say PHP development. And if you already used Laragon, you know that it comes with a external terminal and also a database manager, right? Those are really handy to use. Okay. So I already installed the Visual Studio Code and Laragon into my PC, so I'll be not installing them again. If you didn't, just download them and install. Okay, so after installing these two, just open the VS Code. We'll be installing some extensions and setting up our VS Code. So open the VS Code. Okay, so here as you can see, I have a fresh VS Code installation. I didn't install any kind of package or anything. I mean the extensions. I'll be installing the necessary extension one by one. Okay, so before installing the extension, what I like to do is let's go to the setting from this gear, click on this gear icon, then click on settings, and the first option you will find here, which is autosave. So make it after delay. So if you enable this setting, you don't have to press Ctrl S every time when you make any kind of changes into a file. Okay, so this is a handy feature. And for the font size, for my case, I'll be using 18 here. For now, it's fine. Now let's move into the extensions. We'll be installing our necessary extensions. First of all, search for Laravel. And if you scroll a bit, you will find a extension called Laravel Extension Pack. It contains several packages for the Laravels. So we'll be installing this one. Just click on install and it will install the extension. Okay, so our extension is installed. Now let's move into our second extension, which will be PHP IntelliFence. This one, just click on it and install. Okay, installation is complete. Now I'll install another one, which is Laravel Blade Spacer. This one, install this one as well. Then we will install another Laravel extension, which will be Laravel IDE Helper. So this is an important package. Make sure you install this one, Laravel IDE Helper. Okay, that's done. Now I will also install Prettier for code formatting. If you want to skip this extension, you can, but for formatting, I use Prettier. Just click on install. So installation is completed. Now I will install another one, which is Code Spell Checker. You can also skip this extension if you want. Basically, this extension highlight any kind of spelling mistake in your code. So I like to use this one also, but this is not mandatory. You can skip this extension. So I install it. Now let's move on to the next one. Indent Rainbow, this one. Basically, this extension give you a coloring on your tabs. This extension is not also required, but for better visibility, I like to use this Indent Rainbow extension. Just install it. Okay, done. Now we'll be installing our last extension, which is Easy Snippet. So this one, we'll be installing this package as well. Via this extension, you can easily create snippets for your VS Code. So this extension will be really handy when we will be working with our project. So make sure you install this one. Okay, so that will be all of our packages that we'll be using for our development purpose. Now I'll be installing two more extensions, which will be for my VS Code theme. So I'll be searching for Andromedia. So I like to use this theme So just install it. You can use any kind of theme you want. So I'll select Andromedia border. Okay. Then I will install a icon theme as well. Let's search for icon. And I like to use material icon. Just click on install and it will install. Make sure you set the icon and we're done. So that's all the extension we need. So I guess that's it for this video. We have little bit more work to do in VS Code and I'll be covering those in my next video. So that's it for this video. I'll be seeing you at the next. Okay, so in this video, we'll be adding some default path into our VS Code, like PHP execution path, then also our terminal path, etc. Okay, so first of all, let's start with the PHP execution path because we have to set this path. Sometimes this PHP IntelliFence, the extension that we installed in our previous video, this extension most of the time complain for the PHP execution path. As I'm using Laravel as my local development server, this means the PHP is only exists into this Laravel's working environment. The PHP is not globally installed in my PC, right? So I have to give the execution path to VS Code for prevent any kind of further errors. Okay, so how to do that? Press Ctrl Shift P. It will open a prompt. From there, you have to search for user setting JSON. This one. Just click on it. It will open the VS Code's default setting JSON file. And here we'll be adding our paths. Okay, so at the end, let's add a comma. Then I'll be putting some keys here. I don't need that for now. So we'll be adding the PHP path for these two keys. First is php.validate.executable path. Here we have to add our PHP path. And second one is artisan.php.location. Here also we have to add our PHP path. Now, if you're using Laravel like me, your PHP exists into a Laravel folder. For find that, click on root, this root button. Here in the top, you will find your exact path, right? Here you will find Laravel. Click on Laravel. It will put you inside the Laravel's main folder. Okay. From there, you have to go to this bin folder. Open the bin and you have to find the PHP. Look at here. This is the PHP folder. In the PHP folder, I have several folders available here. In your case, you will find only one folder, which will start with PHP, then it will show the PHP version actually. So currently I'm using PHP 8.1. So open this folder and inside this folder, you will find this php.exe. This is basically your PHP file and part of this PHP you have to put inside of your VS Code setting. Got it? Let's go to our file manager again. Now what I'll do is let's click on this bar and here as you can see it's selected the entire path. Let's copy the path. Let's go back to code editor and in the executable path we'll be adding the path. Okay, look at here, VS Code is giving us error because of this backslash. We have to add here double backslash like that. Just replace all the backslash with double backslash here and we're done. Now in the end we will add again double backslash then php.exe. Right, as I said, we have to add this php.exe path here. Okay, that will do the job. Now just copy this path and put this path into this artisan PHP location as well. So that's it. That's all we need for the execution path for the PHP. And one thing to mention that if you are using any other local host, so in that case you have to put your own PHP execution path and do it only if you are getting any kind of error into your VS Code. Mainly the error occur when you open a PHP file. It will pop up an alert here that PHP execution path is missing. If you get any kind of error like that, only in that case add the path here in the settings. If you are not seeing any kind of error in the VS Code, you can skip this part. It's totally fine. But if you are using Laravel, it have high chances that you will get this executable path error into your VS Code. So in that case, just put this to line and make sure you added the correct path and the error will gone. Okay, so that's enough for our PHP execution paths. Now what I want to do is I want to set the Laravel's default terminal as my default terminal of the VS Code. If you're not using Laravel, you can skip this portion and close this video and move into the next one. But if you're using Laravel, you can follow this step for making your Laravel's terminal as your VS Code default terminal. As you know, Laragon have a default terminal in it, which is CMDR. If I click on terminal button, it will open a terminal. Look at here, the terminal name is CMDR. And mainly we use this terminal for run any kind of PHP commands, or you can say Laravel commands. But what I like to do is, I like to use this terminal as my default terminal into the VS Code. You know that VS Code have a default terminal shell as well. If I click on Ctrl+J, it will open the terminal portion. By default, for me, it is using PowerShell, but I don't want to use the PowerShell. So now what I'll do, I will replace this PowerShell and set this CMDR terminal as my default terminal. Okay, it's pretty easy. Just go to your JSON file again, setting JSON, and in the end, I will add some codes, which will be this one. So here, as you can see, we added a new key, terminal integrated .profile .windows. Then we added the default terminal path of Laragon here. Here, as you can see, we have a path. Basically, this is the Laragon path. If your Laragon is installed in the C drive, it's totally fine. You can use this path. You don't have to change anything. But if you installed your Laragon in any other drive, in that case, you have to provide your drive letter here. And this code will create a terminal profile for us. Now what we have to do is, we have to set this Laragon profile as our default terminal profile. For that, we have to add another line here, which will be this one. Make sure you add a comma here. Okay, so the key name is terminal integrate .profile default profile .windows, and we are adding the name of our profile, which is Laragon. Okay, and you don't need to worry about this code. I'll be attaching this code into this video. You can just check those out. Okay, so we are done here. Now what you have to do is, you have to press Ctrl+Shift+P and search for reload window. This one, click on it and it will reload your VS Code. Just wait a bit and it's done. Now you can press Ctrl+J, or you can click on this terminal option and click on new terminal, and it will open the terminal for you. Now look at here, by default we are getting the Laravel's terminal right now. If I try to add here php-v, look at here, it is giving me the PHP version. If I want to access the npm -v, it will give me the npm version, right? So everything is set. Our VS Code setup is completed. So that's it for this video. I hope you understand, and from the next video we'll be start working with our project site. So see you at the next one.